living La Vida low carb. This show is changing lives. We talking about your diet, trying to get you feeling right. Cut up them avocados, fry some eggs, time to explore the longest running health podcast, hosted by Jimmy Moore. Time to give up the crappy garbage. We're getting into ketosis. Every day is a new step to your goal. Yeah, you're getting closer, motivated and focused. Don't stop, just go. Time to get inspiration from the Living La Vida Low Carb Show. Hey, the livinglowcarbshow.com.
So guys, that right there is my friend all the way hailing from South Africa, Cape Town that is. His name, Glen Finkel. I'll show you his page first. He's glen.finkel over on Instagram. But he would be the first to tell you, yeah, don't go there. Go over to the Adapt Your Life page, right? Adapt Your Life Instagram page has all the information. If you've ever had one of the Adapt bars, those little like high-fat ketogenic bars, he was the one that came up with that concept, him and Dr. Westman. He also is the guy behind the mastermind behind Dr. Westman's Adapt events that are still taking place. You literally just had an event recently, and I just missed it. I didn't even know about it. It was happening about 3 hours from my house, and so
next time you'll be there for sure.
Yes. And in fact, I was supposed to give a talk at your one in 2020 when the world went crazy. I think the event was set up for April, and I was working on the talk in March. I had just gotten back from sabbatical, and it was going to be on childhood trauma and its impact on your physical body. And then, yeah, the world went crazy, and I never got to give that talk. I just got confirmed. This is breaking news for anybody that I haven't shared this anywhere. I just got confirmed to speak at the Paleo FX conference, sharing that talk that I was going to share at your event. So one of these days, I hope to share it at an Adapt event. But
you got it, 100%.
Yes.
We'd love to do that, Jimmy.
Yes. So you have this brand new concept that was born out of the last 2 years when you couldn't travel, you couldn't do anything. You said, hey, let's create this Adapt Your Life Academy. And I'm like, dude, let's bring you on, talk about what that is, because you're creating resources for people, not just educational. There's a lot of those out there, but it's actually like bringing people into the fray and kind of making it a community of sorts. Can you tell us about this?
Yeah, so first of all, Jimmy, thank you very much for having me on. Awesome being able to spend a bit of time with you. It's been so long since we've seen each other, but it's been so long in everyone, obviously, since COVID. But yes, what happened was we started our journey with Dr. Westman about 7 years back, and we started out with the bars, as you correctly mentioned, and really we created those bars just to help people build a bridge to get over their kind of sugar addictions, and to be able to adhere to the program. So a lot of people, like sweet things and dessert type of things. And so we decided to create these products that were obviously low in, no chemicals.
Can I tell you, that was one of the best keto bar. There's so many keto bars out there now that are just pure garbage. I mean, just utterly gross, nasty. Nope. Even my chickens wouldn't eat some of them. But your bars actually tasted good. They had a good mouthfeel. You did really, really well with that. And so I wanted to commend you for that, because not many companies, and it cost a lot of money to make a really quality bar like you did. I know you guys got some heat about the price of the small bars, but if you knew what was in it, you would be like, worth every penny.
Yeah, no, thank you, Jimmy. And to be honest with you, for people that follow Adapt Your Life and follow us, you'll see that we don't push the products. We're not a company that kind of you have to buy our products and you have to eat our products in order to have a keto diet. That's actually not the case at all. Then nothing beats real food. Nothing beats real food. So we're not one of those companies that just try and push these products just to try and make a buck. We really created those products to try and help people build that bridge and to try and adhere to the program long term. So that's from the bar side. And then what happened was, as you correctly pointed out, there were a lot of events that and there still are a lot of events that take place around the world. The problem, well, not the problem, but the challenge with those events is that they typically are 3 or 4 day events. They take place over 3 or 4 days. It's pretty expensive for the user to get there. They're typically a destination, so you'd have to
Yeah.
fly, let's say, from the West Coast to the East Coast or vice versa, and then you'd have to rent a hotel. Plus the event themselves are anywhere upwards of $500 to attend. So before you know it, you spend $2,000-$3,000 on trying to go to an event that you're just trying to learn to live a healthy, meaningful life. And so that's what we decided to do, was to create these adapt events where we would actually travel with Dr. Westman and go to different cities and have guest speakers such as yourself and lots of other guest speakers that we've had at all these different events. We go to the different cities across America, and what we do is we put on these events as a one-day event, and very, very affordable. Typically between $60 and $70. We really don't make money from these events. It's really to try and get the word out there and to try and help people. Instead of them having to fork out $2,000-$3,000, they can get away with under $100 and learn everything that they need to know about this way of life. And that was going absolutely brilliantly until COVID hit. And you correctly pointed out, I was actually in the United States. Our first event was in Los Angeles. We had 2 more events after that, but America shut down. In fact, I took the last flight out of America, and I was lucky to get back home. And obviously, we all know what happened. COVID's hit us, and for 2 years, we've been kind of isolated. And one of the things that we sat down with when COVID hit was, well, we couldn't have the events. The events obviously came to a screeching halt, and everyone that was in the event space started to saying, well, I'm going to create virtual events. I'm going to have these virtual events. And so we thought to ourselves, we don't want to have the virtual events. We've always been a company that goes if everyone's going in that direction, we'll kind of go in a different direction.
Yes.
And so we left the virtual events up to all the people that did all these virtual events, and they did a great job doing that. And what we did is we worked on Adapt Your Life Academy. And what is Adapt Your Life Academy? We create various courses that are very, very helpful. For example, our cornerstone, the absolute bedstone of our courses is called the Keto Made Simple Masterclass. Yes, and in fact, you've correctly pointed out, we only run this course every 3 months, and today enrollment opens, and it's only open for 7 days. And so what this course does is it teaches somebody that doesn't know anything about a keto lifestyle, or is doing a keto lifestyle but not necessarily getting the success that they want. It takes them on a journey with Dr. Westman, and it takes them on his method. It really goes through his method. It includes 12 video lessons, 4 modules. That's correct. It's $167. And then what else it includes? It includes 3 weeks of Facebook support in a private Facebook support group. And what we do in that support group is Eric Westman goes on live every week. Amy Berger goes on live every week. And what we do is we teach people the basics. We really get them to understand and implement the keto diet the way Dr. Westman's method was intended. And so we've had tremendous success. Since COVID, since the start of COVID, and since we launched the courses, which was in November of 2020, this is our 6th incarnational cohort of this course. We only run it every 3 or 4 months, and enrollment is only for a week at a time. And we've put over 4,500 people through these courses.
Wow.
So we've had tremendous success. And Jimmy, we've actually done statistics where we've counted the amount of pounds that have been lost just in that 3-week Facebook group, and it amounts to over 2.5 tons of weight that's lost, that we've helped people lose in the courses that we've run. And so I mentioned the Keto Made Simple Masterclass. We also have a course with Amy Berger called the Soul Slayer. We also have a cholesterol course, which is really pearls of wisdom that probably come from your book, to be very honest with you, because it's Eric Westman's I know that he helped write the book, Cholesterol Clarity, and we've got a course called End Your Cholesterol Confusion, correct? And so a lot of the information, I would assume, I haven't read the book, unfortunately, but I believe it's a fantastic book, Cholesterol Clarity. But I would imagine that a lot of that information is in the course, and Eric, the course is absolutely amazing. We've got a new course that's, we partner up with various experts. So, for example, next month, we've got a brand new course called Sugar and Food Addiction by Dr. Vera Tarman. Have you ever heard of Dr. Vera Tarman?
Yes, of course.
Have you had her on your show?
Yes, twice. Yes.
Okay, she's outstanding. And so she's doing the Sugar and Food Addiction course, which is going to be launched next month. And then we've got some very, very exciting courses that are planned for later on in the year. And Jimmy, I need to speak more, to you about these courses, and I'll actually give you access to all of these courses. I'd love you to be able to maybe give a review of them and see what you think of them. I'll set you up, I'll hook you up and give you access to these courses.
Thank you. When I was looking at this in preparation for this interview, I'm like, I want to do a course. Like, is this course open to literally anyone who has knowledge on some topic of interest in the world of health?
Yeah. So first of all, the great thing about these courses is that there's no barriers. There's no logistical barriers. We sell to people in Paris, in Australia, in New Zealand, all over the world. People buy these courses, and they're able to take these courses from anywhere in the world. Yes, anybody can take the course. The only trick of the course is that enrollment is only open for a very short window.
Yes.
So it's not like a course where you can go onto our website and, next week I'll take the course. No, it's only available every 3 to 4 weeks. And the reason for that is because we really focus heavily on giving the support, the 3 weeks of support that are inside the private Facebook group. And I see someone's asking how much is the course. It's 160. Hey, Steve, I can see you on there. Good to see you, Steve. It's $167, and all of the courses are $167. And it's like I said, we've put 4,500 people through these courses, and we have a 95% approval rating. We do surveys after each one of the courses. We've got a 95% approval rating. And Jimmy, one of the things that was important for me, and you'll know this because I've mentioned this a number of times to you, and when I've spoken on the low carb cruise, etc., and you had me on a couple of times, one of the things that we wanted to do is, Eric Westman has always been a great clinician, but he's one doctor and he sees one patient at a time in a clinic. And the thing is, when you go see Dr. Westman, there's a 3 or 4 month waiting list to go and see him. The problem that you've got
now,
6 month waiting list.
It's 6 now, Glenn, because I asked him if I could come see him. He's like, I know you're a friend, but I have a 6 month waiting list.
It's crazy. And so what we said is, it's all very well that he's such a great doctor and that he's seen maybe 20,000 people, or not 20,000 people, 2,000 people maybe in the last, I don't know how many years. How do we get him to see 2 million people? And the only way to do that is through the internet and through these courses. And like I said, in just over a year, we've put 4,500 people through those courses. So which is just crazy. And we're very, very proud of that.
And look, I think partnering with Dr. Westman was brilliant. I adore the man, as you well know. I wrote 2 books with him, although writing a book with him was very hard. Love you, Eric, but you're not fun to write quick.
It feels the same way about you, Jimmy.
Yes, but it's all good. So, yeah, that's great. I feel like I like the methodicalness of it. It's a 1 week open enrollment. It's a 3 week course. It's a set price of $167, and you learn about kind of a la carte whatever you want to learn about. So if you're having trouble kind of getting back to the basics of keto, boom. If you're trying to figure out cholesterol with a 3 week course, boom. Like maybe somebody like Dr. Fung would be a great one to do like a fasting 3 week course with.
Yeah.
And other people have expertise. And I love you have Vera Tarman doing the sugar addiction one. Literally, the sky is the limit when it comes to this thing. Are you limiting it just to health stuff? Because it's just called Adapt Your Life Academy. Adapt Your Life could be, hey, I want to learn how to change my mindset about things and my belief system.
Yeah, we've got 4 courses that are going to be launching, 4 brand new courses that are going to be launching this year. I can't tell you what they are yet, but they are super, super exciting. It really is. We're hoping on launching about 4 or 5 new courses every single year, on all different types of topics and different types of services that are really, really warranted and needed in our community.
Psst, come here. I gotta tell you about this kit. It is a hair mineral analysis kit to determine your deficiencies in key minerals. It'll also show you your toxicity with heavy metals. It'll show hormones, your immune system, your thyroid, your adrenals, and your metabolism, all in one kit. And all you gotta do is go to upgradedformulas.com, use the coupon code Jimmy, you'll get 15% off this kit, but they have everything that you need to just basically give them a piece of your hair, and they'll show you how to do that, and then you mail it in, and they'll show you specifically where you have deficiencies, and then go to upgradedformulas.com. They have a full array of nanotechnology that will help you shore up those deficiencies in the minerals. So again, upgradedformulas.com, and check it out. Test, don't guess.
I don't know if you know what I've been doing in 2022, Glenn, but I've been getting into a 32-degree ice bath every single day.
I've been watching.
Yes, for 5 minutes a day, every day this year. So 3 months I've been at this. I'm like so fired up. I want to help people get into cold therapy. And so I'm on the air volunteering to do, or at least connect you with somebody that could do it well, a cold therapy course of sorts, because I'm getting a lot of inquiries from people. Hey, I want to do this. I need to learn more about this. Tell me more. And of course, I'm doing all my videos on Instagram, but it would be nice to have an organized course.
Yes, 100%. Jimmy, you always have the best ideas. There's so many. You came up with Jeff Gerber's name, Denver Diet Doctor. There's so many. There's so many things in my head that you're so good with coming up with great ideas. 100%. We need to have a private chat, you and I.
Yeah, let's have a posse session, because I have a lot of ideas. I heard about this. I was like, yeah. So I mentioned at the beginning, you're back to doing adapt events again now that the world seems to be opening up a little bit better. Tell us about that. How did the one go?
So we had 3 events, and all of a sudden I'm feeling absolutely shocking because don't you live near Atlanta?
Yes.
You don't live in Atlanta, do you?
I did what?
You don't live in Atlanta.
No. I'm 3 hours away in South Carolina.
Are you in South Carolina? Okay. So we had an event in Winchester, Virginia.
Yeah.
We then went across to Raleigh. We had an event in Raleigh, North Carolina, and then we had an event in Atlanta. Yeah. How far are you from? Are you closer to North Carolina or to Atlanta?
Atlanta is 3 hours away. Raleigh is 3 hours away, and Winchester is 7 hours away. So I was close.
I'm feeling very, very bad, Jimmy, because we could have had you at both of those events.
Yeah. Anyway, I found out them the day after your Atlanta event, and I was like, oh.
But when we come back, you'll be the first to know. You'll be the first to know.
Awesome.
I remember you did the event. You did the previous event. Was it Atlanta or was it Tennessee?
It was Atlanta.
In Atlanta.
Yeah.
And it was unbelievable. I mean, Jimmy, always an honor to have you come and speak at those events. Of course, you bring a wealth of knowledge with you.
Thank you. Yeah, the energy at your events are so great, Glenn, and it's because you have an open environment. I think because people aren't tired from being there 2-3 day events, as you were talking about earlier. I think there's just such an anticipation, and you get cream of the crop speakers. You're not getting filler speakers, which a lot of those bigger conferences kind of do. No offense to the smaller speakers, but they're kind of filler speakers. And so you don't have filler content. You have quality speakers.
Yeah, we really, really are. We are so blessed to be able to have the quality of the speakers that we have. It is kind of, there's good news and bad news. The good news is that there's a lot more doctors coming onto this way of life, or lifestyle, should I say. So it gets a little bit easier on that side. But, you know, we try to cover all the states within the United States. It's difficult because there's certain pockets where some of these doctors are, you know, where they kind of live in certain pockets, and other areas where they don't live. So it's not like we can cover every single state, but we try and get a good mix of kind of Central America and East Coast, West Coast kind of thing.
Well, this is the beauty of your events, Glenn, because like you said earlier, you had to fly into some big city like Austin, Texas for like KetoCon, for example. You have to fly in, and then it's a very expensive conference to go to with the tickets and then all the Ubers and all the things that you have to pay for. But if you can go to one within like 100-mile distance of your house, which is what you guys do, you try to find places that are like centralized, and then people will drive to it, go for the day, maybe spend the night in a hotel, make it a date night, and then go back home the next day. It's a beautiful way that you do it.
100%, yeah. So we're very, very proud of that. And I think at the end of the day, Jimmy, we kind of, our entire business model, so to speak, is really focused now on education. It's really, like I said, we don't advertise bars, we don't advertise our products. We don't want to be thought of as that company that just tries to plug kind of products. Again, I'm going to mention on this podcast, for the record, real food, you cannot beat real food. So, but we really are focusing on education, whether it be live in-person events, whether it be the academy doing a course, or yeah, thank you, Jimmy. And that's anyone who wants to find us can find us on adaptyourlifeacademy.com. So we've got two different websites. We've got adaptyourlife.com, and that is for our bars. And then we've got Adapt Your Life Academy, which is dedicated specifically to our online education. And then, Jimmy, I don't know if you're aware, did you know we came out with that book, End Your Carb Confusion?
Yes, I interviewed Eric and Amy when it came out.
Okay, so do you know that we've got a new book launching next month?
I did not. Tell me about it.
So that new book that we've got launching it's called End Your Carb Confusion, the cookbook. So you probably don't know this, and it's good to catch up with you and to catch up. And there's so much that's happened in the last 2 years. I feel like we could spend a whole day catching up. But one of the partners that we've teamed up with is a Michelin star chef. His name is Scott Parker, and he's from the United Kingdom. And he worked at 2 Michelin star restaurants. And he's partnered up with us. And the book is all about. You obviously remember the End Your Carb Confusion book had phase 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
So all the meals in the book are phase 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
So it just goes hand in hand with the book. And that is one course that I can tell you we're coming out with as well, which is a cooking 101 with Chef Scott Parker. That's going to be launching later on in the year as well.
Dude, that is so sorely needed. People are all the time saying, "Oh, I would be in the kitchen more if I knew what I was doing." And I'm like, we just need somebody to teach us the basics of like kitchen skills. Back in the day, everybody knew how to cook in the kitchen, and you and Yale were so gracious when we came and visited you in 2015 during Professor Noakes's event. We got to go to your house, and you guys were just like, "All right, we're gonna make a meal," and it's like, wow, it was
We'll do that again soon.
Yes, one of these days, my friend.
Yeah.
One of these.
Yeah, but yeah, and the nice thing about it is that everything that we teach in that course is absolutely for the home cook. It's nothing that is hectic or complicated. Most of the dishes are one pan and under 5 ingredients to use. So we've kind of focused on keeping it real simple, but cooking the most delicious and healthy food that you can possibly get. And so, yeah, that's going to be launching later on in the year. We're very excited about that course as well.
Now, what's interesting about what you did branding with Adapt Your Life is nowhere in there does it say low carb, keto. It really has no affiliation with any kind of nutrition. That was brilliant, by the way, because in hindsight, now keto is kind of going on the outskirts a little bit. There's always going to be people talking about it. And obviously, Dr. Westman's been researching it for 25 years, so he's not going anywhere. I called my brand Livin' La Vida Low Carb. I'm always going to talk about low carb diets, whether it's called keto or carnivore or paleo or whatever it's called. You're always going to kind of go with the time. So good job making Adapt Your Life your branding, because I think it's going to serve you well with these courses and you're not tied to any one term.
Thank you, Jimmy. That means a lot coming from you. As I said, consider you very, very special when it comes to brainstorming and marketing. There's very few that can land on your level.
Well, it's been a lot of fun to kind of watch the evolution of you, because I remember the first time I met you, I didn't really like you, if I'm being honest, Glenn. I was like, I don't. You were just so intense, and like I could tell you were excited, but I didn't know you as well as I know you now. Now I know you're an adorable little fuzzball. I owe you a hug when I see you next time.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yes, yes. So guys, again, Glen Finkel, go check him out. Adapt Your Life over on Instagram, adaptyourlife.com, and then the brand new Adapt Your Life Academy, which is yourlifeacademy.com. Online courses, guys. You're always asking for where you can learn more about things. He's got a keto masterclass that has enrollment every few months. And yeah, he and I are going to talk offline about maybe doing an ice bath one, or maybe I could do a fasting one. I've done a lot of fasts and stuff.
And what I'm going to do, Jimmy, is I'm going to, just to let you know, I'm going to hook you up with your email. I'll send an email later on, and I'm going to get you access to those courses.
Yeah, I would love to see the format, and then, of course, I'll brag all about them if they're great, and I'll tell you probably.
That's what I love about you, is that you're always honest and open, and I'm very, very happy about that. Honest reviews are the only way to go.
Yeah, so guys, go check them out, and Glenn, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Jimmy.
It's been 3 years since the release of my last book, but now I have written a brand new book called One Step Deeper Journal, The Foundations, featuring my co-host of my One Step Deeper podcast, Brittany Lee Davis. And this, you guys, is going to be an incredible book for those of you who struggle with mindset, struggle with why you believe things the way you do, if you've gone through any kind of trauma in your life. We got you. It's a 40-day journal. We're going to take you through all of the different topics. Brittany and I actually give you a lot of our own personal story. There will be lots of places to do journal entries where we prod you. This is one of the proudest books I've ever written, and it's available at onestepdeeperjournal.com. Within the next few days, we're expecting it to be available on Amazon. So go check it out. One Step Deeper Journal, The Foundation.
Living La Vida low carb. This show is changing lives. We talking about your diet, trying to get you feeling right. Cut up them avocados, fry some eggs. Time to explore the longest running health podcast, hosted by Jimmy Moore. Time to give up the crappy garbage. We're getting into ketosis. Every day is a new step to your goal. Yeah, you're getting closer, motivated and focused. Don't stop, just go. Time to get inspiration from the Living La Vida Low Carb Show. Hey, the LLVLC.com.
So guys, today I have Robin Switzer here today. She is the mastermind behind the KetoCon conference. Yes, it's still going on, guys. It's been gone for a couple of years, but they are back and better than ever. They're coming July the 8th through the 10th 2022 in Austin, Texas at the beautiful Palmer Event Center. Go over to their Instagram page, KetoCon. They make it real easy to find. KetoCon.org is the website to go get your tickets. And man, Robin, everybody has missed seeing people in person. All these like virtual Zoom, like virtual meetup kind of things, they're getting old. I think people want to physically touch and hug and all the things that make a magical conference happen. So thank you for not going there, I guess, during the last 2 years.
Well, I mean, our team and our crew feels the same way. It's time to see our community again.
Yeah, been a long time coming, and so yeah, I'm super excited. I will be attending as a guest, and so I'm really excited to see so many people there. Tell us about the last couple of years, just very briefly, just like the struggle that you went through, because a lot of people had a little bit of bad blood about what happened a couple of years ago when you had to cancel. It was out of your control. You didn't know what it was going to happen, but you had to play by the rules, but that cost you financially.
Yeah, it's been a really rough few years, Jimmy, to tell you the blatant truth. It's been rough. When KetoCon was canceled in 2020, it was March, and our event was supposed to be in June. And so all the bills that are due to put on an event like this, including like paying ticket affiliates and paying staff and all that kind of stuff, everything, the website development, all of that had already been paid. And so we had to cancel, and people were asking about refunds. Well, we've always had a no refund policy because of situations like this.
Yes.
But that was really just just in case. Of course, nobody ever expected anything like this. Event insurance didn't cover it. Like, it's considered an act of God. It's a natural disaster. So it was really rough. So we could not make exceptions to the refund policy, because if we made exceptions to one, we had to make exceptions to all.
Yes. And
there was just no way we could do it. And so what we did was we agreed to honor the tickets that were sold and all the sponsorships and vendors that had paid for our next event, which we anticipated being the following year. Who would have thought that we would have been out for 2 years? And then we tried to pivot, which is such a 2021 word, but we tried to pivot to something virtual so that we could deliver something to the community who was really hurting. By June of 2020, everybody was hurting. There was a lot of fear, there was a lot of uncertainty, insecurity, and we wanted to do something to keep people filled up, motivated, connected. And so we pivoted to online, which we did a kind of a good job considering the timing and lack of experience. We recorded all of the presentations through Zoom and then put them all on our website and gave everybody who purchased a ticket access to those videos. And then what we did was we tried to do a KetoCon care package, and which was pretty successful for the most part. We worked with Noosh Foods and about 15 other vendors, and they all shipped product to the Noosh Foods warehouse, and then Noosh shipped out these care packages to KetoCon ticket holders. The caveat was that we had to ask people to individually opt in for these packages because privacy laws. So they purchased their tickets on Eventbrite and we're not allowed to share their information by law. So we had to ask them to opt in and provide the shipping information. So it was clunky at best, but we did the best we could. And so we shipped those out, and then we started planning for 2021. And by February or March of 2021, there was still a lot of uncertainty. There was masks, no masks in the city of Austin, the state of Texas. There was taking temperatures. There was staying 6 feet apart. There was a lot of uncertainty in the event space in general.
Yeah.
And leading up to March, we were told that we would have to make the vendor floor smaller, so there would be fewer vendors to allow for more space between them. Everyone would have to wear a mask. We would have to take their temperatures at the front door, and we would only be allowed to have a certain number of people in the building at any given time. So everybody who wasn't in the building would have to stand outside in July in Austin waiting for one person to leave so they could go in.
Wow.
It's just not going to work.
Wow.
So we had to call it again. Like, there just wasn't a way for us to deliver a KetoCon experience in that environment. So here we are again. We postponed again. And I mean, we've taken a lot of hard hits on this, personally and financially and professionally. But we just kept on, like, blinders on, keep moving forward and do the best we can. And that's what we've done. So we've got a date in July for 2022. And then we started working on the website again, and then a new registration platform. We had to move away from Eventbrite. And then by, I think, September of 2021, we started opening things up again. So we've honored all of the KetoCon ticket holders from 2020 have a ticket to KetoCon 2022. Let me just say right here, since I'm on the podium here, that if you had a ticket to KetoCon 2020 and you have not received a transfer confirmation from us, please email help@ketocon.org right away, because we've transferred all of those tickets over. And everybody who purchased a ticket in 2020 has a ticket to 2022, but it's not your Eventbrite ticket. It's on our new registration platform. So you need that confirmation. It will make your check-in experience at the event much more pleasant if you have the new information.
Right.
Ours as well. And so we also honored all of the vendors. So all of the vendors who paid for 2020, we've rolled them over to 2022. And in order to do that, and still be able to generate revenue to put the event on, because again, we're starting at zero revenue, we expanded the space. So now you've been there, so you know when we've had the event in the past, we only had 2/3 of the venue.
Right.
And the other third of the venue was blocked off. Well, now we have the whole entire thing. So this is a similar, it's the same size venue as PaleoFX, but it's a different floor plan layout. So, did I answer your question? See, I just go off on a...
No, that's okay. No, look, I was asking how the last 2 years went, and you beautifully explained the hell that it was. And I talked to Keith and Michelle from PaleoFX as well recently, and they mentioned a lot of the same kind of headaches and how they've had to, like, hang on for dear life, kind of like you guys have. Well, let's just say I'm so glad KetoCon is still around and is still going to be out there to inspire people. Yes, guys, please come to this event. KetoCon.org is the website, July the 8th through the 10th in beautiful Austin, Texas. And yes, all the restrictions are gone. This is the thing that made Keith and Michelle cancel theirs last year as well. They're like, no, the point of a conference is seeing smiles and hugging and being close and not worrying about all these things that the pandemic brought on to us.
Right, right. So that's very true. As a matter of fact, I spoke to the Palmer Center last week to confirm now that South by Southwest is behind us and they had no health implications, no reported cases of COVID or anything after the event, they have completely lifted everything, the Palmer Event Center. At one time, they had considered recommending masks. Well, they've even lifted that now. So we have a clean slate and we're ready to move forward. And we're super excited. This is like, you and I have talked about this before. I've spent the past 2 years in this office by myself trying to figure out how to make all of this work along with all the other business lines. And I'm ready. We all miss this community. We miss spending time together. We miss eye-to-eye contact, not just here on Skype or Zoom, but face-to-face. Like it's time. It's time for us to all be together again and celebrate what we've all gotten to the other side of and what's next for each of us.
It's not normal. It's not new normal. It's just, okay, familiar again. So,
Yeah.
well, I'm glad that it's still around, and I'm excited, like I said, to be attending. I'm actually driving there because until they lift the mask mandates on planes, I'm not getting on a plane. But guys that love masks and get on the plane, please do that. But hopefully by the time your event happens, maybe that's been lifted as well. But I'm excited to be there. Tell us about some of the people coming. I mean, it's a virtual who's who in the keto world, the carnivore world, and a lot of brand new faces. That was what I was really encouraged by when I was looking at the.
Yeah, there's we do have a pretty wide variety of people. So that from the carnivore space, which is obviously very popular right now, Sean Baker will be speaking, Judy Cho will be speaking, and we have speakers who are experts in the female experience. Dr. Anna Kabeka, who has spoken before, she's just such a wealth of knowledge.
Girlfriend doctor, she calls herself the girlfriend.
The girlfriend doctor, yeah, we all love her.
Yeah.
There's you're familiar with the brand HVMN. Well, one of the founders of HVMN, Michael Brandt, is going to be speaking about ketones, and not in a lose weight now, ask me how ketone perspective. This is ketones for longevity, for improved physical performance, for improved mental clarity. Let's see, Bronson Dan, do you know Bronson?
I'm having him on the show soon, yes.
Okay, he's exceptional. At 50 years old, he is in incredible shape. He's a great coach. He's a very good friend. I'm actually participating with him right now with his coaching program and InBody, which is, we're hoping we'll be making it to KetoCon as well. InBody makes scales that measure your body fat and your bone density and that kind of stuff. So I'm participating in a challenge with them right now. We're in like week 4 of that. So anyway, he'll be there. Logan Delgado, who everybody knows, Goody Beats, he's going to be speaking as part of the Entrepreneur Mastermind session, but he's also going to be helping us with emceeing. So we're calling the MCs Master of Ceremonies. We've got several, and that is to make sure that we have a wide variety on the stage, but also so that I'm not tied to the stage the whole time. You know how that goes because you've done that with us before. Neil Dudley, who is a personality extraordinaire. He is the VP of Sales for Peterson's Natural Farms.
Yes.
He's going to be on the Entrepreneur Mastermind panel as well, and they'll be exhibiting. So I'm really excited to have him back. He's been to several of our events.
Can I pause on the Entrepreneur panel, because I went to that at the last KetoCon 2019, and I kind of snuck in. I was like, hey, Robin, can I have a ticket to that? Again, you're like, yeah, you. I snuck in. I stood in the back, and it was Tom DeLauer and all these big name people that had been successful making keto into a business. I think this is something that once people have gone keto or carnivore or whatever their chosen diet plan, they get excited. They want to do something with it, but they have no direction. I help people all the time because I've been pretty successful in this space as well, and people have questions. Guys, if you come to that for this panel alone, it might be worth it if you're considering like making this into a business yourself.
Yeah, that's that part of the event has always been hugely popular. As a matter of fact, in 2019, there were so many people in that room that we decided we are going to move that part of the event to the main stage area.
Wow.
So that we have seating for 1,000 people. So whether we have 200 or 500 people attend this, we'll have enough space for everybody. We serve coffee, everybody gets a free cup of coffee, and it's really just a 90-minute like cram session, mastermind with entrepreneurs who have been in this space and have been very successful.
And I love how you do it at like 7 a.m. because you want to see, all right, who's really interested in this? Because if you can't get up early, you're not.
Well, I wish that we were so clever that we did it for that reason.
Give you credit for that.
Thank you. Thank you. The truth of the matter is we've got so much going on during this entire event. We have to do it that early in the morning. But yeah, the doors for that actually start opening at 6:30, and we start serving coffee and getting everybody comfortable. And then the stage opens at 7, and it goes from 7 to 8:30 straight through. We have a format, of course. And then at 8:30, everybody leaves the area and goes out into the vendor area. And then by 9 o'clock, we've got the first speaker on the stage. So it's bam, 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 bam on Saturday.
Yes, people that have never been to any conference like this before, imagine a fire hose and you're trying to get a little sip of the water. It's kind of like that because you're so overwhelmed. There's so many senses just throwing at you constantly. You're like, oh my God, Ken Berry. Oh my God, John Baker. You know, and like, oh wow, look, that's that vendor I buy from. Let me go talk to them. And then it's just really soak it all in. Don't try to see everything. You won't be able to. You just kind of absorb the experience. And like you're gonna leave the weekend exhausted, not near like Robin Switzer will be exhausted, but then like uplifted, and you're gonna come home flying high and take on the world with keto and carnivore.
That's the hope. I mean, that's our goal, is to deliver that type of an experience to the attendees. You know, I'm working on finalizing the schedule right now, so we should have that up on our website soon. But one thing that we're doing this year that we've never done before is we will have an app for the event. And once it's finalized, we're building it now. Once it's finalized, everybody will be able to download an app from the App Store for KetoCon, and that app will probably be available by, I'm guessing, early June. And people will be able to, between looking at the schedule on our website and looking at the schedule on the app, you'll be able to plan your experience in advance, so you don't feel like you walk in the door and like, oh my God, which direction am I going to go? So we're really excited about that.
That's great. A lot of the big conferences are doing the app thing. I went to a couple of biohacking conferences last year, and they had that. And yeah, it's so convenient. You can book your spot there if like spaces.
Yeah.
There was all kind of little things, and I was like, that's really cool. And so kudos to doing that. That's you moved into the 21st century with that. That's cool.
Yeah, we're trying very hard to level up the experience. We've always prided ourselves in delivering an experience that people can take away, go home, and just carry this feeling of inspiration and motivation.
Yes. And
so we're trying to continue to do that and can increase that experience, improve that experience.
Well, I have long said that the KetoCon event is the standard for all the keto events. There's nobody that does a better show than you guys. No disrespect to the others that have great conferences, but you guys have the totality. You've got some that are very science-minded. Great. That's what they do. You've got others that are very just consumer-minded and really nothing other than that. Great. And the kind of the communal experience. And then you got ones that are events on like a boat or something. And again, it's another kind of event. I think you guys take the best of all those worlds and say, okay, here we are. This is what we offer. And it's why it's been so popular. How many people are you expecting in 2022?
Oh gosh, that's hard to say, because we are right now in the peak of ticket sales. Our history has been that the last 90 days is when we sell about 70% of the tickets.
Whoa.
So, yeah, right now we're a little over 2,000. So, I mean, our goal is to hit 5,000, but I know that we'll hit 4. I just don't know how much higher than that we'll go. It just depends on what the next 3 months bring us.
That's still pretty major. And like you said, you get to open up the whole event center this year at Palmer Event Center. And yeah, I think Paleo FX at their apex was just around 5,000 or so. when they were at their most popular. So yeah, you're kind of trajectorying in the same direction. That's great. Look, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, it is a lot of people. That's why we're moving to all of these upgraded registration and the app and all that stuff, because it's a lot of people to move around. And you remember where we came from because you were there in year one.
Yes, and it was great year one. Like, I remember it very vividly, and I was very honored to be a part of the organizational part of that and helping to lead it. But wow, it's come a long way, baby, as the
yeah, we're super excited.
Well, again, guys, July 8th through the 10th, do not miss this event. It's KetoCon. It is the world's largest keto conference. It is back. First time in 3 years since it's been. So come out to Austin, Texas. Again, July 8th through the 10th. KetoCon.org. Go get all the details over their Instagram page, KetoCon. You can sign up and see all the latest and see all the wonderful speakers you're going to have. I can't wait to see Michelle there. She's a good friend of mine.
She's awesome.
Speaking, and yes, all the wonderful kind of festivities you will not want to miss. Well, Robin, thank you so much for sharing. I know this is your time of but hang in there. You will survive, and I know this is going to be such a successful event.
Thanks so much, Vinny. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I'm looking forward to seeing the entire community. Deeply appreciate your support. And just thank you for having me on and telling everybody about the event.
Time to get inspiration from the Living La Vida Low Carb Show. Hey, the livinglowcarbshow.com. Woo!
Have you experienced the dreaded keto flu? Did you know that most of these symptoms are actually due to your body dumping excess electrolytes? This is where LMNT comes in. LMNT is a tasty electrolyte drink mix with everything you need and nothing you don't. That means lots of salt with no sugar. LMNT is formulated to help anyone with their electrolyte needs and is perfectly suited to folks following a keto, low carb, or paleo diet. LMNT contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio, 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium, with none of the junk, no sugar, no coloring, no artificial ingredients, no gluten, no fillers, no BS. Everyone needs electrolytes, especially those on low-carb diets, or if you practice intermittent or extended fasting, if you're physically active, or sweat a lot. Add LMNT today and see how much better you feel and perform. Use the URL drinklmnt.com/Jimmy.